Alright guys, welcome back to More Ignorance in Basketball. Now before we get into this game, which some may say was muy bien, I don't know, just maybe one or two people would say that, I have a couple quick announcements as usual. Number one, we're starting a second channel. It'll basically just have the highlights from the Twitch so people who missed the streams can see what they missed out on. So that's called Live Ignorance. The link for that will be in the description. The new Death Valley shirt I'm still working on. It'll be done in a couple days. I'm very proud of it. It's going to look really, really good. I promise. As always, follow the Instagram so you know when we're live on Twitch and when we do little pop-up streams on Discord and stuff so you don't miss out. The link for everything will be in the description as always. But let's get into this game because, look, I know we've been talking about ring season for a while, but again, we just need to take a moment and appreciate the fact that the Phoenix Suns are in the NBA Finals. It's done. It's inevitable. It's done. Nothing they can do can take that away. Every game of this series has been fucking nerve-wracking. It's made my stomach hurt. There's been plenty of sweating. People have been overly emotional. I get it. I'm an emotional fan. Will we be talking about the Patrick Beverley stuff? Of course. What kind of person do you think I am? But we'll talk about that in a bit. I'm just glad the series is over. I'm going to do like a whole video encapsulating, that's a GED word, feel free to use it, encapsulating the series. That'll be done in like a couple days. I figure this Buck series is probably going to go 7, at least 6, so seems like the Suns have some days off, which is good. A couple players could definitely use some rest, so that is a beautiful thing, but we'll have content spread throughout that period. But let's get into the game, people, because there's a lot of really good things that I saw. Now, I didn't make a video about Game 5, mostly just because I wanted to take a day off, honestly. I've been either making a video or streaming and watching the games every single day, and it's like, you know what, sometimes it's just too much basketball. I get it, it's playoffs, and I'm excited, but sometimes it's too much basketball, and I still ended up watching basketball that day because I'm addicted. But like I said, let's get into the game. So the fact that Jay Crowder started off the way he started off was fucking huge for this team. If he's making shots, this team is damn near unbeatable because you know he's going to always be doing the little things. Like Jay Crowder, I'm not saying he'll, get a stop every single time. I don't know if I've ever seen him like take a possession off defensively. So we at least know he's going to show up in that front. And like I will always say, him and Mikal are the kind of players that just do little things that will win you a fucking championship. I wholeheartedly believe that. So that was great. It was really great to see him hitting shots. And it wasn't just that of why the offense was just looking so much better than it was the last game. I really think even though I know that the Suns take the Clippers seriously, I felt like they just came out really lackadaisical? I don't know. They came out whatever that game. They weren't really putting a lot of effort on the defensive end, especially. They were just first play of Game 5, they just gave up an open 3. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? But, I feel like this was the best ending I could have seen. You know what I mean? It was Disney movie-esque. But in Game 6, they were guarding the three-point line way better, running people off, just playing a lot more physical. They weren't just making Ayton get every single rebound because obviously the Clippers went small, so they were boxing out Ayton pretty well. The Suns were rebounding as a team. They out-rebounded them by, I think, 15 at the end of the game, so that was huge. They were moving the ball around. There wasn't as much ISO. I felt like Game 5 they were also settling a lot for like bad jump shots. There wasn't really a whole lot of that in this game. You could tell, even though the Clippers weren't playing poorly to begin the game either. It's not like it was a huge blowout at the beginning, but you could just tell by the Suns' energy how they started off the game. Like, they were here to close that shit out. And that's big, because a lot of teams, especially young teams, love to fuck up games like this. They don't take teams seriously. They don't put them away when they have the chance to. And every single closeout game for this Suns team has been on the road. And I just got to give a shout out to the Suns fans. As somebody who's from LA, I think the Suns fans are the best fans in the NBA. First off, these motherfuckers have beat the shit out of every other team's fans, and they don't hit first. If you watch the clips, they don't hit first, but they definitely finish that shit off. So that's badass, not gonna lie. And every single away game has looked like a home game for the Suns. Except for maybe the Lakers series. I don't even remember that much, to be honest. But this Clippers series, and definitely that Denver series, it has looked like a home game when the Suns are on the road, 100%. Like, when the Suns were doing their like little Western Conference, when the Suns were doing their Western Conference like a trophy ceremony or whatever the fuck it's called, we on Discord we literally forgot that they were playing in LA because there were so many fucking Suns fans there. So I gotta give a shout out to the Suns fans. You guys are amazing, honestly. Alright, I apologize for interrupting this amazing video. I know you're enjoying it, but YouTube did just message me and they wanted me to let you guys know that if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, they will personally see to it that Patrick Beverley not only retires from the NBA because we're tired of him trying to injure our favorite players, but they will make sure that he is moved back to the sewers where he belongs. A lot of you know he is a subhuman. What is a subhuman, you may be asking? Well, I'll tell you. It's like a human, but worse. So, that's that. Do with that information what you feel is right, what you feel is just. But let's get back to the video. But yeah, I mean, the way that the Suns came out today was so different than the last game. It was great. You could just see it. They were about their business. They took it seriously, and they handled it. Even without Cam Johnson, that wasn't great news to hear because he was one of the few people that was actually hitting shots, but Torrey Craig stepped up. He went crazy on the glass. Jay Crowder definitely stepped up. He shot amazingly, and, you know, as always, we'll get into everybody's numbers at the end, but I'm just really proud of the way this team came out and handled it. It really does show a lot. It shows a lot, and you already know how I feel. It's ring season. We've been saying this since November, so definitely not going to start, you know, bailing on it now when things are looking really, really, really fucking good. So, also, we had Dario, at least on offense. On defense, not so much. Not so much. But we definitely had Dario on offense. 2 of 2 from the 3-point line. I think that's 100%. Pretty sure. But shout out to Dario for showing up on offense. Like I said, it was a pretty close game to start, and then eventually to end the middle of the third, the Suns are up by 17. They take Chris Paul out. 10-0 run in 4 minutes. We're like, fuck, here we go again. Were we worried? No. But, you know, I was hoping for them to close out the game. Like I said, the Clippers get it back to 7, and they put Chris Paul back in the game, and instantly it's instant offense. You could tell this man was like, we are not doing this shit again. There will be no fucking Game 7. We are not even gonna give these motherfuckers a chance to eliminate us. Nah. Give me the fucking ball. Get the fuck out of the way. I'm taking over this game. And it was majestic, beautiful, magical, sensational. I don't know. These are words that come to mind, but it was just amazing because people were talking shit about Chris Paul, saying he's trash, he's washed, his legacy's fucked, he's going to blow another 3-1 lead. Here we go again. And it was just really dope to see him just take over and basically tell everybody to shut the fuck up. He completely took over the game. I think they said he scored or assisted on the next 35, 36 points or some shit. It was amazing. It was amazing. He was 7 of 8 from 3. He scored 30 or 31 points in the second half alone. Like, I don't even know. I got nothing else to say about that. The Patrick Beverley stuff, let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. Because, first off, I hate Patrick Beverley. He's a subhuman. I saw that he apologized on Twitter today, and he's not apologizing to me, but if he was, I would tell him to go fuck himself. I wouldn't even respond, but I would be thinking, go fuck yourself, because look, bruh, you've been talking more shit than anybody this whole fucking series. Even that game, he gave Chris Paul a nice little crossover. I don't think it was dramatic as people were saying, but he got him a little bit and was talking shit in his face right after the play. He gets a block, he's talking shit. He's in Devin Booker's fucking ear all fucking series, smacking people in the head, taking people's legs out from underneath him, breaking Devin Booker's fucking nose. And now that you're losing, a man has his back turned to you. It didn't look like he said anything. He may have, but hell, Patrick, it couldn't have been anything worse than the shit you're fucking spewing with your disgusting mouth. And you push him in the back because you're upset. My thing is, bitch, are you 5 years old? Are you about to throw a fucking temper tantrum? Why don't you handle your fucking emotions like a grown-ass adult and stop being such a bitch all the fucking time? But that's just my thing. You should, if you're gonna dish it out, you should be able to take it. That's a big thing for me. So, if you want to be all fucking Billy Badass when you're up by 4 points talking shit like you did something, like, motherfucker, you average, what, 6 points a game? Who gives a fuck about you, number one? But hey, that's fine. Look, I'm not going to say anything that hasn't already been said. If you want to see me talking more shit, I suggest you follow the other channel, Live Ignorance, or check us out on Twitch. I mean, Patrick Beverley's a subhuman. Chris Paul also got Bookie to be a little bit emotional throwing the elbow. Chris Paul definitely sold it, and that is partially why he is my favorite player of all time. The man is just hilarious. He gets in your head and makes you look like an emotional bitch. It's just what it is, and it's funny. It's entertaining. Kawhi, does he do any of that? No. Why? Because he has no personality. He's boring. I'm sorry. He's great at basketball most of the time, but he's boring as fuck. And that's objective. And that is objective. Now let's get into the numbers, because obviously that's all we're about here. There's never any jokes. It's only numbers, statistics, math. Give me the math. Now, Clippers scored 130 points. 130 points. That is quite impressive if you ask me. I wasn't expecting them to be able to score as many points as they did. Even though I will say they played pretty good defense on Chris Paul. The motherfucker just went off. I mean, he's shooting threes with hands in his face, step backs and shit. I mean, there's only so much you could do. I was expecting it to be more around the Clippers score, honestly, like maybe 105, 100, hell, maybe even the 90s. But the Suns beat that ass. And here was the game. 47 rebounds for the fucking Suns, 32 for the Clippers. That's it. There's not really a whole much you can do about that. When the Suns are this good of an offensive team, they're playing good defense, and they're getting way more rebounds than you, there's only so much you could do. 27 assists, that's about their average. 5 steals, 4 blocks, only 9 turnovers. They've been really good at keeping the turnovers low. It has been beautiful to watch. But they shot, this was also the game, 56.4% from the field. That's fucking incredible. Only 64% from the line, but they only got there like 11 times. And, I mean, the Clippers got to the line like 30-something times to the Suns 11. The refs were fucking garbage, but like I've been saying, the refs will continue to be garbage, so I'm not going to keep talking about it every fucking game. And the Suns ended up shooting 55% from 3. God damn, that's how you close out a fucking game. Everybody showed up. It was beautiful. Booker didn't have his most efficient game, but he had like 3 loud-ass dunks. He definitely punked Patrick Beverley a couple fucking times, which is always a beautiful thing to watch, if you ask me. I mean, Aiden's been amazing all series. He definitely showed up this game. We already talked about Crowder. Craig stepped up with Cam out. Chris Paul obviously went fucking insane. Mikal had a couple big plays and obviously has to guard Playoff P. Ugh, how do you give yourself a nickname when you're like 30? Like, what is wrong with you? I just don't understand that. But hey, it's no longer my job. The Clippers are out of the picture. Thank God we don't have to deal with them anymore. I can honestly smell Patrick Beverley through the screen. He is disgusting. Reggie Jackson, I don't like you, but you did play really well. I gotta give you your credit. You're probably the best player this whole series, to be honest. And this man is about to get a motherfucking contract. So I would say congratulations, but it will always be fuck you energy, especially against this Clippers team with their trash ass logo. You know, speaking of playoff P, let's see how he showed up in the biggest game of his career? Maybe? I don't know. It depends on who you ask. So he played 41 minutes, which is quite a bit. 6 of 15 from the field. Yikes. Not the best. Not the best. 40%. He was 1 of 6 from 3. That is 16.7%. Yikes. 89% from the free throw line. He had 9 boards, only 2 assists because your team wasn't hitting. You had 4 turnovers. Goddamn. 0 steals, 0 blocks, 21 points, and was minus 25. And most of his fucking points were from the free throw line because the refs were just giving it to him. And I'm sorry to be that guy, but it is the truth. It's the truth. I don't want to hear shit else. So, playoff P, shout out to you. I'm telling you, he is the greatest Suns player in the history of the franchise. I'm trying to tell you guys, he's born ready. But that's enough of weak-ass Clipper shit. Let's see how our guys, the Phoenix Suns, showed up. Now, Nader got some minutes again. He only played 6, and he didn't even take a field goal, and he got 1 rebound. Craig with 31 minutes, which is way more than he's been playing all series. I feel like he's been in, like, the teens. But he only took 3 shots, 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 points, 1 assist, but he had 8 rebounds. This is the type, like, that's what I'm fucking talking about. That is what they need. I saw Craig getting a lot of offensive boards, which is beautiful. Jay Crowder, 33 minutes, 6 of 11 from the field. He was 5 of 9 from 3. That's pretty damn good. 19 points, and they were all in the first half. He had 1 assist and 5 boards. He was doing his thing defensively. Like, Jay Crowder was huge today. And there were times when they were trying to ISO and get Morris on the Booker, and I would see Crowder come around from the wing and, like, switch it out when he had a chance to. Beautiful veteran move. I noticed the little things, Jay, and that, like, little shit like that can be the difference between a loss and a win in a game. Muy bien. Now, DeAndre Ayton, I was thinking last game, I'm like, the way fucking Sarge has been playing, you may have to just play this man 40 minutes. Because I noticed in Game 5, when Sarge was on the court, they would put Boogie on, and when Ayton was on the court, they would want to go small. Now, Ayton can hold his own against both, but let's be real, Sarge was not able to guard Boogie at all, so they did end up playing Ayton for 40 minutes. He only took 10 shots, but he made 8 of them. Pretty damn good. 16 points, 1 assist, and 17 rebounds. He went insane. So, I mean, big shout out to Ayton. You've been a man amongst boys all fucking playoffs. This man is 22 years old. He's 22. He's playing like he's fucking 32. Shout out to you. Saric. Now we didn't have Saric and we didn't have Dario. We had Daric tonight. It was definitely Saric on defense, but Dario on offense. Like I said, he was 2 of 2 from 3, 7 points, 1 assist, and that's it. So the rest is definitely Saric numbers. Getting no rebounds is definitely a Saric activity. But hey, we'll take the 7 points in 8 minutes. Not mad at that at all. Now, Booker played a lot of minutes as well, 42 to be exact. 10 of 26 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. He struggled a little bit, but I'm sure he'll take the fucking win. I definitely don't think he played poorly. He finished with 22 points, 4 assists, and 7 boards. I'm telling you, he's a sneaky good rebounder. Mikal Bridges showed up. He only took 6 shots, but he only played 24 minutes too. 4 of 6 from the field, 9 points, 4 assists, 1 board. Cameron Payne, 16 minutes, 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 7 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds in 60 minutes. Not bad at all. Now, last but certainly not least, we had to save him for last. Chris Paul, the man of the hour. He only played 35 minutes, which is great. It's good that they can keep his minutes down because he is old as fuck. I don't know if you knew. I don't know if you're aware, but the man is old. 16 of 24 from the field. It's like 67%. 7 of 8 from 3. 41 points. 8 assists. 4 boards. 0 turnovers. And a closeout game to go to the finals for the first time after 16 years. Like I said earlier in the video, you're up by 17. They take you out. The Clippers go on a 10-0 run in 4 minutes. You're up by 7. They put you in immediately. You hit a fucking 3. They don't guard you. I don't know why they didn't do that. They're playing some weak ass zone like we're in fucking middle school. It didn't work. Didn't work. Immediately hits a 3. Just goes the fuck off for the rest of the game. That was it. That was it. That was the game. As soon as Chris Paul went back in, he's like, oh, okay, I got you. You're trying to go on one of those little clipper runs where you piss us off? Nah. Get the fuck out of the way. This is my shit. I'm ending it. It was beautiful. And I see like the Skip Baylesses and shit. They're like, I can't believe he did this. I've never seen anything like this. I'm like, bitch, if you go back last series, what did he have, like 37? He just did this shit. Last series to close out on the road. That was a sweep. And he didn't even take a 3 that game. That was all from the mid-range. But, I mean, it was beautiful, but I'm not going to say I was surprised, even though he has been struggling. But it was pretty obvious it was rust. He was still able to get to a spot and get a shot off. They were just, a lot of them were kind of short. A lot of them were even, like, in and out. So, I figured he would be back. 41 is a lot of points, but the man's a hooper. The man is one of the best point guards for a reason. So, like I said, I'm going to make a video encapsulating the entire series within the next couple of days, so be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the new channel. A lot of new shit is on the way. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end of the video, and that's it. Peace.